Two realms. I am in the divine and mysterious world. Introduction. www.zhaozuiyuan.com. Chui Shouyuan found a ring that can travel to other realms. I heard that demon cultivation requires human blood, so he asked me to go to San Francisco First People's Hospital to see if there is much blood in their blood bank. I heard that ghosts and monsters are afraid of lightning, electric shock rods, and ultra-high voltage. Let's learn more. https://www.zhaozuiyuan.com. Chapter 1. Alien Realm. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ads by Google equals window. Ads by Google. Push. In a dilapidated rental house in the land of Shu in China, Chui Shouyuan was thinking of what had happened in the past few days with a puzzled expression on his face. I must have traveled before, that colorful glow can take me to another world. Going back to the past, Chui Shouyuan was playing with himself on the bed of his rented house. He bought a ring from the antique market yesterday. Accidentally, I was scratched by the edges on the ring, and the flowing blood quickly adhered to the ring. When Chui Shouyuan's blood was connected to the ring suddenly emitted a colorful glow, dazzling, which made Chui Shouyuan unable to open his eyes for a moment. When Chui Shouyuan felt that the colorful glow was no longer so dazzling, he opened his eyes. Chui Shouyuan realized that his position was no longer on the bed of his rented house, but in the depths of a lush and endless mountain range. And he himself stood at the top of one of the peaks, with the bright sun shining brightly in the sky. Occasionally, a bird flew by, surrounded only by the sound of the wind blowing and leaves mixed with bird songs. The sudden change made Chui Shouyuan also feel confused, not knowing what the situation was. After a while of adaptation, Chui Shouyuan began to determine whether he had not slept well and had hallucinations, and after conducting his own tests, I found that everything that happened was indeed real, without dreaming about these messy things. After calming down, Chui Shouyuan first observed the surrounding environment. He didn't know any of the trees around him, and it seemed that they were not plants on the blue star, although Chui Shouyuan was not an expert in botany. But based on his common sense of life and so many years of experience, Chui Shouyuan still feels that he can't make a wrong judgment about these things. Looking around, besides the trees, there were only those birds. In this deep mountain forest, it was difficult to guarantee that there were no large carnivorous animals, so Chui Shouyuan was also very careful when observing. After confirming that there should be no large carnivorous animals around him, Chui Shouyuan immediately picked up the ring in his hand and observed. Chui Shouyuan was very confident that this thing must have brought him over. After all, the colorful glow emitted by the ring before left a deep impression on him. As long as you're not a fool, you know that everything that happened must be related to this ring. If you want to go back, you have to rely on this thing. But now this ring is no different from the one on the street stall before, at least Chui Shouyuan can't see it. Recalling what had happened before, Chui Shouyuan also tried using his own blood to see if he could activate the ring again, but it ended in failure. How to go back? All of a sudden, Chui Shouyuan's thoughts were cut off. With the ring in his hand, he was almost aware of the flowers and had no clue at all. Chui Shouyuan, who didn't know what to do for a while, brainstormed for a while and decided to leave this deep mountain forest first, taking advantage of his current abundant energy. Let's see if we can find people first. If we can't solve the problem by staying here all the time, we will also waste our physical and mental energy for no reason. Chui Shouyuan had also watched some survival programs in the wilderness before. In them, Beiyi once said that if a plane crashes and lands in the deep mountains and forests, if you want to find a place with people, then follow the water flow. Standing on the mountaintop, Chui Shouyuan also remembered these words that Mr. Bei had said at such times. At a glance, Chui Shouyuan quickly found the direction of the river without any hesitation, identified the opposite direction, and simply planned the route before setting off. In this kind of pathless, deep mountain and old forest, there is no way to compare it to cement roads in peacetime. Cui Shouyuan had already scraped some small holes in his clothes when he went down the mountain. As the saying goes, if you run away from the mountain, it will take Cui Shouyuan half a day just to go down the mountain. By the time he reaches the river, the sun is almost setting. Seeing that it was already late, Cui Shouyuan followed Bai Ye's idea and found a temporary shelter to build. As for Bai Ye's ability to drill into wood and start fires, Cui Shouyuan just watched it on TV. When it was really time for him to actually operate, Cui Shouyuan gave up directly. He knew about his own affairs and didn't want to waste his energy for no reason. The most important thing now was to see if he could find someone to be rescued. If the ring takes him to a completely deserted place, Cui Shouyuan must live here for a long time before he will try to start a fire. Last night, Cui Shouyuan didn't have a peaceful sleep either. He spent the whole night worrying and observing whether there were any beasts around him. Fortunately, there are no wild animals, but there are many mosquitoes, and from time to time, they may be bitten by unknown mosquitoes. It is also unknown whether these mosquitoes are poisonous or not. As soon as dawn broke in the morning, Cui Shouyuan took advantage of the light and glanced at the ring to see if there had been any changes throughout the night, which also disappointed him greatly. After discovering that the ring had not changed much, Cui Shouyuan stood up directly and went to the riverbank, following the water flow downstream in the hope of finding someone. After walking for a while, Cui Shouyuan was also tired. He casually found a place on the shore to rest and equip himself. As soon as Cui Shouyuan took out the ring while resting, he noticed that it was emitting a faint glow. After seeing the changes in the ring, Cui Shouyuan's mind was immediately thinking about how to go back, and this idea came to mind. Cui Shouyuan disappeared into place inside, and a bird nearby saw him. Suddenly disappearing, Cui Shouyuan also tilted his head, feeling very surprised. The next second, Cui Shouyuan returned to his rented bed. Looking at the clothes on his body that had been scratched by branches and the mud on his body and feet, Cui Shouyuan was very certain that it was not a dream. But it was something that really happened to him, and all of this was unbelievable. At that moment, Cui Shouyuan glanced at the ring in his hand again. At this moment, the ring was still shining brightly. Looking at it, Cui Shouyuan suddenly had an idea in his mind that he could go back to that forest again. As soon as this idea came out, Cui Shouyuan immediately disappeared into the rental house and reappeared by the river where he had just disappeared. The bird that had not yet flown away just now saw the reappearance of Cui Shouyuan, and for a moment, its mind was a bit exhausted, unable to figure it out. At this moment, Cui Shouyuan looked helpless as he looked at the ring in his hand. The colorful glow had disappeared and he had returned to his normal appearance. After the previous incident, Cui Shouyuan was also quite calm at this time, probably finding some rules for the rings. As long as the ring emits a rainbow glow, it can travel through, but Cui Shouyuan is not sure how long it will shine again. It should have been about a day before the ring finally emitted light, but Cui Shouyuan doesn't know if it will continue to shine and travel in the next day. He can only hope that it will shine again in just one day. There has been an opportunity to go back, and Cui Shouyuan is no longer so eager to find people. But he continued to follow the flow and wanted to find someone, but there was a slight change in his mindset. Along the way, accompanied by fatigue and hunger and cold, Cui Shouyuan saw a nearby smoke. Cui Shouyuan also walked in that direction without thinking for a moment. Climbing over a small hill, suddenly it became clear. The transportation between the fields was well known, and there was a village where people seemed to have discovered Cui Shouyuan. Looking at the dilapidated village in front of him, with men and women dressed in tattered ancient costumes, Cui Shouyuan had some speculations in his heart, most likely that he had traveled through time. This idea had already been in his mind when he was on his way earlier. But it hasn't been confirmed yet, but after seeing the houses and clothing of these people here, this idea became even stronger in Cui Shouyuan's heart. Although the houses and clothes are a bit shabby, the adult men and women here look strong and have a rosy complexion, and they look like they are eating well, unlike a poor mountain village where they can't even eat enough. Thinking of this, Cui Shouyuan thought that having a full meal should not be a problem. Although he was worried about possible communication problems, he could always understand the meaning with his hands and strokes. Before Cui Shouyuan could speak, an elder brother in the village couldn't help but ask Cui Shouyuan, where did this little brother come from? What's the point of coming here? Looking at the retro words spoken by the big brother in front of me, although there was a bit of a strange accent on Zheishuan. Calm, I could still understand it, which dispelled Cui Shouyuan's concern that he couldn't understand. Cui Shouyuan also quickly imitated the older brother's way of speaking and accent when answering. I got lost in the mountains and went downstream to search for people. I found cooking smoke by the river, so I followed the smoke and came to beg for food. I also wanted to ask where this is. Cui Shouyuan answered the elder brother's question with a respectful and courteous expression, which dispelled some doubts in his heart. Moreover, at first glance, Cui Shouyuan looked like a lost young master who came out alone to play. Although the clothes he wore were slightly different from the young men in the city he remembered, the material of the clothes wouldn't deceive anyone. And the hole on the clothes looks like it was only scratched by a branch for a short time. If we save him and send him home, wouldn't the benefits come? As soon as he thought of this, the big brother became enthusiastic and immediately stepped forward to hold Cui Shouyuan's hand. Just like an old friend who hasn't seen each other for a long time, he greets him, little brother, come and come with me. Isn't it just a meal? Although my brother is from a poor family, he won't miss a bite of your food. It's already late now. After dinner, take a night off at your brother's house. Tomorrow, your brother will escort you home. Okay. For a moment, Cui Shouyuan didn't know what to do about this big brother's sudden enthusiasm. Just as he hesitated, he was already pulled towards his house by the big brother. Seeing the enthusiasm of his elder brother, Cui Shouyuan couldn't shirk it. Anyway, he had to eat until he was full. He was really too hungry. Entering the village, Cui Shouyuan discovered a problem. Chapter 2. Immortals. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After observing Cui Shouyuan along the way, he discovered why there was not an old man in this village. Moreover, the children in this village cannot be said to be as thin as a stick, but it seems that none of them are healthy, and everyone is severely lacking in nutrition. It shouldn't be. Cui Shouyuan looked puzzled in his heart. Most of the adults here are physically strong and don't look like they can't eat enough. But why are these children so thin and weak? Where have the elderly gone? But Cui Shouyuan didn't dare to ask these questions. After all, he was in a strange place, a stranger, and this village was so strange. These various problems have made Cui Shouyuan and others hesitant to eat, afraid of problems. On the way to his elder brother's house, Cui Shouyuan learned that his surname was Jiang and his name was Jiang Dai. Unconsciously, under the gaze of the villagers, Cui Shouyuan, led by Jiang Dai, arrived at Jiang Dai's home. At first, Cui Shouyuan was still thinking about the elderly people in the village, who might be elderly at home, so he couldn't see any of them along the way. Although Cui Shouyuan's explanation was a bit far-fetched, at this point, Cui Shouyuan could only think for the better. Upon arriving at Jiang Dai's home, Cui Shouyuan saw his wife and 2 children, but did not notice his parents. This reminded Cui Shouyuan of a documentary he had watched before, which said that in some places in ancient times, there was a type of tomb called a clay jar tomb, which was used to bury elderly people who were not productive due to their advanced age. Buried alive in a cemetery, I went to deliver food every day for 100 days. During this time, for every meal I had, I sealed a brick at the entrance of the tomb. On the 100th day, it was time to block the entrance. Seeing that there were no elderly people in the village, Cui Shouyuan began to think about these aspects, but after a little thought, Cui Shouyuan felt that something was wrong. The people here seemed to disappear in a cliff-like manner, with only young and middle-aged children and no transition to old age. From their appearance, these people are at most in their 30s, and there is not a single person in their 40s. People at this age are theoretically productive and will not have the situation of clay pot graves. What is the reason why at most there are only people in the village with facial expressions around 30 years old? Where have the other people gone? Perhaps the parents of Brother Jiang live there, and maybe even Brother Jiang's brother's house. Cui Shouyuan is trying his best to think in a better direction. Jiang Dai's family is not big either. Strictly speaking, there is only one room and another ventilated cowshed. A family of 4 people all live in that slightly better house. This room is not only for sleeping, but also for cooking. As for the bathroom, isn't there a cowshed? Everything is solved there. As soon as he returned home, Jiang Dai greeted Cui Shouyuan to sit and rest by the fire pit where he was cooking. At the same time, he also made water and tea, and asked his wife to kill a chicken to entertain Cui Shouyuan. Upon hearing that they were preparing to kill chickens to entertain him, Cui Shouyuan quickly refused. Looking at these dilapidated houses, Cui Shouyuan felt embarrassed. But no matter how much Cui Shouyuan refused, he could not resist the enthusiasm of Jiang Dai's family. When the meal was ready, Jiang Dai's 2 children couldn't wait any longer. Jiang Dai glared at them and said, "You two, why are you in such a hurry? Even the guests haven't eaten yet. Eat and eat, you two will know how to eat in a day. No matter how much you eat, you won't grow meat. When you reach the age where you can grow meat, I'll let you two eat as you please." Listening to what Jiang Dai said, Cui Shouyuan's heart immediately became lively, and he arranged some words in his heart. He quickly followed Jiang Dai's words and asked a question. "Brother Jiang, what do you mean by saying that no matter how much you eat, you won't grow meat until you reach the age of growth? I see that the children in the village are all thin and weak, but adults are no different from ordinary people. Why is that so, Brother Cui? You must be a person from within the Chu kingdom. Of course, you don't understand the suffering of us outsiders. We outsiders don't have the protection of the Chu kingdom, so there are many poisonous insects, beasts, and miasma in this place. This makes it impossible for us to live in these places when our ancestors came, and the reason why we can take root and reproduce here. In addition to the efforts of our ancestors, this place has gathered some popularity, which can block the invasion of some miasma. More importantly, the elixirs bestowed by the Immortals in the Didao temple. Without those elixirs, we would definitely not be able to reproduce and thrive here, but after eating the elixirs, there will also be some sequelae. Brother Cui should have noticed that in our village, the children are extremely thin and weak, and there is not yet an elderly person. These are all the sequelae of the elixir of immortality. Once a child takes the elixir, they cannot grow any flesh. However, by the age of 10, they will grow into an adult within 2 years. It is not difficult to carry 200 pounds of things on their shoulders, and by the age of 20, both men and women have the strength to lift 300 to 400 pounds. The immortal pill also makes the people in our village fearless of the invasion of poisonous miasma. Even if those poisonous insects bite us, we are as if nothing has happened. As for those wild beasts in the mountains, they happen to give us a tooth sacrifice. Although the elixir is good, once taken, one will not live to be 30 years old. Basically, they will die at 20.9 years old. However, after death, the immortals of the Taoist temple will take the body away for transcendence and let it be given to a good family in the afterlife. After listening to Jiang Dai's words, there was a lot of information, but Cui Shouyuan couldn't digest it. The Chu, the person who transformed from the inside to the outside, transported the popularity of the court, immortals, and elixirs. Although Cui Shouyuan knew that he was probably in a different world, upon hearing these mysterious things, he immediately had some pig brain overload. After a moment of contemplation, Cui Shouyuan looked like he was before continuing with what Jiang Dai said. "Brother Jiang, where is this Taoist temple? How old have the immortals inside lived?" After learning about the existence of supernatural powers and chaos in this world, Cui Shouyuan's first thought was immortality, something that Qin Shi Huang had always sought after, something that many people in history have been eager for. Since there is such an opportunity, Chui Shouyuan certainly wants to get in touch with it. I don't know where the Taoist temple is. It's all the immortals who come to our village, but no one in our village has been to it. As for how many years those immortals have lived, it's even more unclear. Upon hearing that Jiang Dai did not know the address of the Taoist temple, Chui Shouyuan was not discouraged. After all, it was the residence of the immortal family, and it was normal for ordinary people not to have been there. Then Chui Shouyuan followed the remaining clues and asked, "Brother Jiang, do you know when those immortals came to our village?" Jiang Dai also noticed that Chui Shouyuan seemed to be very concerned about the immortals' affairs. "Brother Chui, this immortal basically comes to the village every month to bestow the elixir, and takes the body back to transcend. Calculating the time, the immortal should come in a few more days. If Brother Chui wants to witness the beauty of the immortal, he can stay here for a few days and see the immortal. Since Brother Jiang has said so, I'll thank Brother Jiang first." With a desire for immortality and longevity, Chui Shouyuan also took advantage of the situation and agreed to stay here for a few more days. Without understanding the village, the child was pale and skinny. Before the old man, Chui Shouyuan was on guard and didn't dare to use chopsticks. After learning about the situation, Chui Shouyuan, who had been hungry for so long, didn't show any courtesy and ate a few bowls of rice fiercely. After dinner, it was already late. Chui Shouyuan, arranged by Jiang Dai, slept on a makeshift bed made of straw. It's not that Jiang Dai deliberately neglected Chui Shouyuan. Their beds are all made of straw, and there are now 5 people living in a room at Shuyuan www.zhaoshuyuan.com. Jiang Dai's family, along with Chui Shouyuan. Looking at the fire pit used for cooking in the middle of the house, which had not yet been completely extinguished, and the straw under him, Chui Shouyuan was worried about what to do if it caught fire. After a burst of worry, exhausted Chui Shouyuan slowly fell asleep. Nothing happened overnight. Last night, except for Jiang Dai's loud snoring, everything else was fine. After touching the location of the ring, there was nothing unusual, but something within the colorful glow appeared. After waking up, Jiang Dai first greeted Chui Shouyuan and ate some leftovers from last night. Jiang Dai then took his wife to do farm work. Chui Shouyuan originally intended to help, but was refused by Jiang Dai on the grounds that he had never eaten the elixir and was afraid that Chui Shouyuan would be bitten by poisonous insects. Seeing Jiang Dai's words like this, Chui Shouyuan didn't want to cause trouble either. Although he had been traveling by the river in the forest before and had stayed overnight, he hadn't been bitten by any poisonous insects. But who can guarantee that he will never be bitten by poisonous insects? Chui Shouyuan still wants to save his life. When he saw the immortal begging for immortality, he asked and learned the method of longevity. He is now more willing to spare his life than anyone else. Since he couldn't go out to help with farm work, Chui Shouyuan also took on the tasks of household chores and taking care of his 2 children. By the way, let 2 children take him to stroll around the village to learn more about the village, the Chu, the Dao Guan, and Immortals. After a leisurely stroll and inquiring, Chui Shouyuan also learned a lot of useful information, such as the nearby Dachu County, which takes about 2 days to walk here. The immortal bestowed the elixir with conditions, requiring a cow. This also resulted in every household in the village raising cows, which could help with farming and production, as well as obtain the elixir. Chapter 3. 2 Boundary Time Difference. You are listening at novelfull.audio. While Chui Shouyuan was strolling around the village in the name of taking care of his children, his ring also reappeared with a rainbow glow. Steadily hiding from others, Chui Shouyuan glanced at the ring and found that it had already emitted new light, which was similar to his previous speculation that it would be possible to travel back in the next day. But if you want to go back now, you can't disappear in front of others. You need to find a more hidden place to cross back and first support the 2 children of the Yangtze River. After casually finding a reason to separate the 2 little brats, Chui Shouyuan also found a place with few people around and few people coming. Go back. In an instant, Chui Shouyuan disappeared in place and appeared in his rented house. Upon returning, Chui Shouyuan immediately picked up his phone that had been charging before waking up and said, has it been 20 days? I was only there for 2 days. Is there a time flow difference between the two worlds, with a ratio of about 1 to 10, and a blue star in the other world? But even if that's the case, we need to hurry up and not disappear in the village for too long. Hurry up and go downstairs to purchase some supplies. After thinking about these things in his mind, Chui Shouyuan immediately got up from the bed without stopping and changed his torn clothes. As for not taking a shower for 2 days, it's too late to take a shower. Changing clothes is also to prevent others from having strange eyes. As soon as he went downstairs, he headed straight to the supermarket. Chui Shouyuan, who usually saves money, now sells things without blinking an eye. When I was wandering in the village before, I learned that the currency used by the locals was gold, silver, and copper. When I heard this news, Chui Shouyuan thought about earning money in a different world. However, it's not urgent yet. The people in the village basically don't have much gold or silver, and they exchange survival supplies through barter. I bought some rice, sugar and a bucket of oil, some spices, mosquito nets, insecticide spray, rain boots, raincoats, flashlights, anti-wolf spray, electric shock sticks, and medicines. I will buy whatever I can think of useful. After the supermarket finished purchasing, Chui Shouyuan went to the gold store again and purchased 1 kilogram of silver bars, which cost 561 grams. After picking up his things, he immediately ran to the rental house. This set of operations took Chui Shouyuan about half an hour, and according to the time ratio of the two realms, it only took 3 minutes for the outer realm to pass. Returning to the rental house, I saw that the blanket on the bed was also useful, wrapped around my body and added a bunch of things I had purchased. Go back. Returning to the other world, the sun did not shine as brightly as imagined, but instead set in the west. What is the time ratio between the two worlds? It shouldn't be. Let's go to Brother Zhang's house first. When he returned to Jiang Dai's house with a pile of things, he seemed to be scolding his 2 children. Seeing Chui Shouyuan returning with a pile of things, he immediately smiled and said, Brother Chui, where did you run to? You disappeared for most of the day. I thought something unexpected happened to you, brother. Xin how, nothing happened. How did you get these things? Upon hearing Jiang Dai say that he had disappeared for most of the day, Chui Shouyuan roughly understood the time changes on both sides. He was in a different world, with blue stars for 10 days in a day, and blue stars for 10 days in a day. Understanding these changes can also be beneficial for future time planning. Little brother, I got lost at that time and threw away a lot of things in order to catch up. Last night, I saw how difficult life was at my brother's house. So today I'll go pick up those discarded things and bring them back to my brother's house for use. Chui Shouyuan didn't care if this reason was untenable, so he casually made up a reason and fabricated it. Jiang Dai didn't really think much about it. When he saw what Chui Shouyuan had brought back, his heart became even more determined. Chui Shouyuan was a wealthy family who secretly ran out to play and got lost. I couldn't help but sigh in my heart, a wealthy family is indeed a spendthrift. So many things can be thrown away at any time. However, no matter how he arranged it in his heart, Chui Shouyuan's expression would not show it, but rather he was more attentive. Brother Chui, just say a few words to your brother about this small matter. Brother can go and get it for you. You haven't encountered any poisonous insects or beasts along the way, have you? If something happens to you, your brother will be very sad. As he spoke, he quickly walked over to Chui Shouyuan's side and helped him pick up the supplies he had purchased, although he knew nothing about them except the quilt. But it doesn't matter if you don't know each other, as long as it looks good and valuable. Brother, what are these things? I don't know anyone except for the blanket on your body. This is salt, this is oil, this is sugar, soy sauce and vinegar. Oh my, wealthy families are different. These bottles for oil, soy sauce, and vinegar are all rare things. After Cui Shouyuan's explanation, the Jiangda River was repeatedly praised as extraordinary. Seeing Jiang De praising the bottles, Cui Shouyuan didn't expect either. However, on second thought, these bottles are like rare things in an ancient world, aren't they? No one has seen such things as oil, salt, soy sauce, and vinegar before, but they may not see these packaging once in their lifetime. After putting away the things, Jiang De began to invite his wife to start cooking. Seeing Cui Shouyuan bringing so many gifts, he killed another chicken. Zhaozhuyuan.com. After drinking and eating, there is no nightlife in the village. It is a special rule to go to bed at night and wake up at dawn to cultivate. Due to a rough understanding of the time difference between the two sides, Cui Shouyuan dared not rashly use the ring to travel back these days. One thing is that there is nothing to do when he goes back. In Blue Star, he doesn't have any relatives or friends alone, and he just hasn't found a job, so there is nothing he needs to handle. The second point is that the Immortal cannot be sure when he will come. There is such a big time difference between the two realms. If Cui Shouyuan doesn't come back in time, it will be troublesome. Anyway, the most important goal now is to wait for the Immortals to collect the bodies. Early this morning, while strolling in the village, I also heard that there are 3 bodies parked in the ancestral hall inside the village. It is said that a person who eats the elixir can achieve a body that does not rot or smell within a month after death, and it is unclear if this is true. Today, Cui Shouyuan did not have the opportunity to see it. When there is an opportunity in the next few days, Cui Shouyuan is going to see if it is true and inquire about more information. A white horse passes through a gap. 3 days have passed. During these 3 days, Cui Shouyuan has been a street wanderer in the village, wandering around, which has made most people here know Cui Shouyuan. Everyone knows that this is a wealthy young master who sneaks out to play and gets lost. He is preparing to wait for the Immortal to come, so that it is convenient for him to seek guidance from his master. Although the people in the village are all powerful and powerful, not a single one came out to extort Cui Shouyuan. A village is full of honest people, and during this period, Cui Shouyuan also saw the called non-decaying and non-smelling corpse. I have also heard that those Immortals seem to not be indifferent to worldly pleasures, and some may even be greedy for money and lust. Chapter 4. Quotation. You are listening at novelfull.audio. I heard that Immortals are also greedy for money and lustful, and combined with the side effects of the elixir, there are also Immortals who collect corpses and go back to transcend. Cui Shouyuan couldn't help but think that this Immortal didn't seem like a good person, but the villagers had never heard of it. The Immortal had done anything bad. This is also the only point that reassures Cui Shouyuan. As for whether the Immortal will accept his disciples, Cui Shouyuan has already inquired about it. On the first night of our conversation with Jiang De, we learned that even qualified Immortals would accept apprentices. One person in their village was once taken in history. It doesn't matter if you don't have qualifications, it's okay to give gifts. Their village is poor, and there hasn't been a single person giving gifts in history, but other big villages have precedents, and there are more than one person. In order to verify Jiang De's statement, Cui Shouyuan has also been inquiring around the village these days, and everyone's opinions are almost identical to what Jiang De said. As the Immortal will come soon, those who want to see the Immortal, those who want to obtain the elixir, and the families of the deceased are all waiting for the Immortal in the village temple. Due to the special nature of Immortals, only these mortals and other Immortals have a share. That evening, Cui Shouyuan and a group of villagers waited for the arrival of Immortals in the ancestral hall of the village. At this moment, someone outside the village shouted, "Here, here, here, the fairy is here." Cui Shouyuan, who had been waiting for a few days, naturally wanted to see the Immortal's charm and poked his head out to look outside the temple. So I saw a fairy wearing a purple golden crown, a white robe, and black auspicious cloud boots. Thick eyebrows and big eyes, with a well-proportioned figure, may be the inherent pressure of immortals, giving people a feeling of not being angry and self-imposing. The immortal looked like a middle-aged man in his 40s, riding on something that emitted a red light, resembling a horse rather than a horse. When the immortal rode slowly to the entrance of the temple, Cui Shouyuan finally saw clearly that the horse that the immortal was sitting on, emitting a red light, was actually a wooden horse. It is indeed a fairy, and there are indeed some miraculous things in this world. Previously, Cui Shouyuan had been listening to villagers talk about how immortals were, but he never felt anything. When I saw these things with my own eyes today, how could I not be excited? I asked the immortal, Changxing may not be just a talk, but actually exists in this world. The immortal arrived at the entrance of the ancestral hall, and the villagers waiting here quickly knelt down and remained silent. At this moment, Cui Shouyuan also learned the same way and knelt down in the same way as the villagers, not daring to look at the immortal anymore. The immortal stepped off his horse without saying a word and walked straight towards the corpse parked in the center of the temple. With a wave of his embroidered robe, the corpse parked in it disappeared. All of this was also witnessed by Cui Shouyuan, with the world in his sleeve. The first word that came to Cui Shouyuan's mind was this. After collecting the corpses, the immortal turned to the villagers and said, "Let's all get up." The voice was neither urgent nor slow, and it reached everyone's ears. The voice was of the same size. At this moment, upon receiving instructions from the immortal, a group of people dared to stand up, but when they did, they also lowered their heads and dared not look directly at the immortal. "If you want the elixir, bring the cow over." At this time, the family that had just started producing additional offspring brought the prepared cow to the immortal. With just a wave of the embroidered robe, the 4 living cows disappeared in front of everyone. At the same time, he took out 4 immortal pills and distributed them out. After finishing these things, the fairy didn't stop and was ready to leave directly. At this moment, Cui Shouyuan saw that the fairy was about to leave, so he immediately gathered his courage and spoke to the fairy, "Immortal, please stay. I have admired the Immortal sect for a long time, so I want to join it. This is the apprenticeship ceremony prepared by the Immortal sect." After speaking, Cui Shouyuan presented the silver he would buy, as well as the plastic and glass bottles. Originally, plastic bottles and glass bottles were not among Cui Shouyuan's offerings, but Jiang De reminded him that these inconspicuous plastic bottles and glass bottles are much more valuable than his 1 kilogram of silver. Before coming to offer the gift, Cui Shouyuan washed these bottles, jars, and cans, and tore off the labels, so Cui Shouyuan didn't worry about the fairy smelling the taste of soy sauce and vinegar. Sure enough, the immortal didn't take a glance. Instead, he picked up the silver offered by Cui Shouyuan. Cui Shouyuan brought a large amount of oil barrels, soy sauce bottles, and vinegar bottles. This is quite a rare thing, like crystal not like crystal, like glass not like glass. What kind of thing is this? The immortal held a glass bottle filled with soy sauce and asked Cui Shouyuan. "Hui Xianren, this is a glass bottle." "A glass bottle. It's a rare item, but it's useless for me to bring it. If you want to join my Taoist temple, prepare 200,000 taels of silver or 20,000 taels of gold. If you don't have it, then don't even think about it." After saying these words, the immortal didn't wait for Cui Shouyuan to answer. He left directly and rode on the wooden horse. With a tug of the reins, the wooden horse turned around and ran towards the outside of the village, preparing to go to the next village. Cui Shouyuan didn't dare to say much when he saw this situation. He couldn't get 200,000 taels of silver or 20,000 taels of gold from Shuyuan www.zhaoshuyuan.com for a while. If he said more, it wouldn't be good if he angered the immortal. As for whether his qualifications are good or not, Cui Shouyuan doesn't need to ask much to know that his qualifications are not very good. If his qualifications are unparalleled, does he still need to speak up? The immortal can tell at a glance that this village has only had a qualified person after so many years. It can be imagined how rare this qualification is, and Cui Shouyuan doesn't feel like he's the kind of talent who is one in a million. Although I did not succeed in apprenticeship, knowing the price of apprenticeship makes it easy to say anything. It shouldn't be a problem to make 200,000 taels of silver by utilizing the resources between the two realms. At this moment, the people inside the ancestral hall were also exclaiming after the immortal left. It turns out that it takes 200,000 taels of silver to worship under the immortal's gate. With so much silver, all the people in our village cannot be sold for so much money. These people are also the first to hear about the price of the immortal's apprenticeship. Jiang Dai had just left in front of the ferry when he arrived at the back. As soon as he heard the ferry's arrival, he put down his work and rushed over. Although I didn't see the immortal, I knew from Cui Shouyuan's expression that his apprenticeship had failed this time. Brother Cui, it's not easy to become a member of the immortal sect. Our village has had many generations of ancestors, and only one person has ever become a member of the immortal sect. Jiang Dai didn't know how to comfort Cui Shouyuan, so he casually said something he felt was comforting Cui Shouyuan. It's okay, Brother Jiang. As long as the immortal sect offers a price, I can't go in, Cui Shouyuan casually said to Jiang Dai. Now his mind is full of thoughts on how to use the ring to earn money in two worlds. Chapter 5. Making Money. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Making money is definitely not something you can earn in this small village. You have to go to the county town. It's already late, so go back and rest for a while. We'll set off for the county town tomorrow. On the way back, Cui Shouyuan told Jiang Dai about his desire to go to the county town. He wanted Jiang Dai to take him to see inside the county town, and Jiang Dai naturally agreed. At dawn, there was some mist rising in the village. Early in the morning, Cui Shouyuan and Jiang Dai woke up. Although the fog may affect some of Cui Shouyuan's line of sight, with Jiang Dai, a local resident, he can't get lost no matter how he walks. At this moment, Cui Shouyuan changed his clothes into Jiang Dai's usual clothes, and put on raincoats and shoes. Jiang Dai also wore his own raincoat and hat to lead the way. As for sugar, rice, oil, soy sauce, and vinegar, they all stayed at Jiang Dai's house, but Cui Shouyuan took the bottle with him. He wanted to take these to the county town to see how much they were worth. It takes 2 days to get to the county town, and it takes dozens to hundreds of miles of mountain roads to walk. The county town to be visited is called Nanyuan County, which is considered the southernmost county in the state of Chu. The population of the county town is about 100,000 people, and the population of the entire county area is about 500,000 people. For the entire state of Chu, it is also a considerable county town, mainly engaged in business with outsiders like Jiang Dai. So although this place is located on the border, it can still be considered a densely populated county town. The main trade includes salt, iron, cattle, and cloth. The Chu sells salt, iron, and cow cloth, while outsiders sell cow cloth and buy salt, iron, and other goods. These things were gradually discovered by Cui Shouyuan from the village. After 2 days of camping and dining, Cui Shouyuan and Jiang Dai arrived safely in Nanyuan County. The journey went smoothly without any accidents. Before entering the city, he took off his raincoat and shoes and wore Jiang Dai's usual clothes. He didn't want to think that wearing them would attract too much attention. Nanyuan County, looking at the 3 big characters on the gate of the city, it was his first time seeing the characters of this world, which were traditional Chinese. The languages of the 2 worlds were similar. Is there any connection between them? Cui Shouyuan didn't think too much about this issue. There is no such thing as a city tax when entering the city. Cui Shouyuan and Jiang Dai are looking around at the people and things on both sides of the street. Both of them had never seen such a scene before. Cui Shouyuan had always lived in the modern world, and the number of times Jiang Dai entered the city was also rare. Pawn shop, seeing the sign on the door, Cui Shouyuan pulled Jiang Dai inside. 2 guests, should we redeem or resist? Seeing someone coming, some of the shop assistants who were originally dozing off also came to their senses. Help me see how much these things are worth. With that, Cui Shouyuan took out the oil barrel, soy sauce, and vinegar bottle and handed it to the shop assistant. The shop assistant took the bottle with both hands and carefully examined it, saying, "Sir, is it to be taken for granted or to be taken for granted? Die to death, if you're fooled, the kid will bid 100 taels of silver for one bottle." 100 taels of silver. Cui Shouyuan secretly calculated in his heart that there were some differences from what he had imagined. To earn enough 200,000 taels of silver, one needs to sell 1,000 bottles. How long does it take to sell? You can still raise it a bit. 100 taels of silver is too little. My guest, you can ask other pawnshops, and then you will know that the price is not low. Our pawnshop has been operating here for over 100 years, and we are absolutely honest with both the old and the young. 100 taels is enough, 3 of them add up to 300 taels of silver, and you can buy 10 cows. Jiang Dai's eyes widened when he heard that he could buy 10 cows. Although he knew the value of this thing, he didn't expect it to be so valuable. Since that's the case, let's switch. I want gold instead of silver. Seeing this, Cui Shouyuan didn't insist. Having a few extra taels of silver doesn't make much sense, as long as you know the approximate value of this glass bottle in this world. Holding 30 taels of gold in his hand, there was still some weight. He found something and wrapped it up. Cui Shouyuan understood the principle of not revealing wealth. Having silver is certainly a way to consume, but after 2 days of camping and dining, it can be considered as torturing Cui Shouyuan inexplicably. I found an inn and opened 2 rooms, and ordered a table of food. Cui Shouyuan and Jiang Dai were not polite, so they shook off their arms and started eating. During the banquet, Jiang Dai told Cui Shouyuan that he would be returning early tomorrow morning and could not rest assured of his wife and children. Sending Cui Shouyuan to the city can also be considered as completing the task. Upon seeing this, Cui Shouyuan did not resist and gave the 30 taels of gold obtained from selling bottles to Jiang Dai as a gift. At first, Cui Shouyuan thought that Jiang Dai would refuse to be polite, and only accepted the gold after some tug of war between them. Unexpectedly, as soon as he spoke, Jiang Dai immediately accepted the gold without any hesitation. The 2 of them, full of food and drink, each returned to their own rooms. As soon as he returned to his room, Cui Shouyuan couldn't wait to travel back to his rented house. As soon as he returned, his phone connected to the internet inside the house. Due to staying in a different world for a few days, it has been almost 2 months here, so the messages on my phone are mostly from the landlord, mostly about collecting rent. When I think of spending time in a different world in the future, Blue Star usually only stays for a few months or years, and once I come back, I can't stay for a few days, so renting a house is basically unnecessary. I have received some news from the landlord, and they generally agreed not to rent anymore. If the deposit is refunded, the landlord readily agreed and said to come and inspect the house immediately. If there are no issues, the deposit will be refunded on the spot. During this period, Cui Shouyuan also packed his luggage and changed back to modern attire. The deposit was refunded during the house inspection, and Cui Shouyuan left the rental house he had rented with his luggage. Zhaozuiyuan.com. Go downstairs, bundle your luggage on your motorcycle, and set off to the waste recycling station. Do you want to buy a glass bottle? I'll take it for 20 cents per kilogram and sell it to you for 31 cents per kilogram. How much do you want? You can choose for yourself over there and weigh it later. After hearing these words, Cui Shouyuan ran to pack glass bottles with 2 snake skin pockets. After careful selection, he chose 2 bags of transparent glass bottles. He didn't want any colored glass bottles, as there should be glass in the other world. Rare things are precious, and since they can make glass, the price should not be too high. In order to ensure the price, Cui Shouyuan chose transparent glass bottles for all. About 150 pieces, weighing less than 100 pounds, gave me 30 yuan. Tie the snake skin pockets and bag openings tightly to both sides of the motorcycle. Cui Shouyuan didn't dare to drive too fast while riding, afraid of damaging the glass bottle. Arriving at a shallow riverbank outside the city, Cui Shouyuan carefully removed the glass bottles and took them to the riverbank for cleaning. The most important thing was to wash off the labels on them. After half a day, Cui Shouyuan finally cleaned these glass bottles. At this time, the Blue Star was also late at night. Taking advantage of the darkness, Cui Shouyuan rode his motorcycle to a small forest outside the city without anyone. Turn off the engine, switch back to the foreign clothing, pick up 2 bags of glass bottles in your hand, and hold the motorcycle between your legs. Go back to the foreign world for me. The next second, Cui Shouyuan appeared inside the inn in the foreign world, except for the glass bottle in his hand. The motorcycle under his crotch did not cross over. Cui Shouyuan was also somewhat disappointed to find that the motorcycle had not crossed over. Although he was mentally prepared and had a general understanding of the rules for carrying things during the journey, he was able to hold it in his hand and wear it with him. He was not able to carry anything he encountered. Chapter 6. Making Money. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ads by Google equals window. Ads by Google. Push, hide the brought glass bottle under the bed, confirm that there are no cracks, then push the door and come out to the room next to Jiang Dai, knocking on the door. But there was no response for half a day. After the waiter's explanation, Cui Shouyuan roughly understood that Jiang Dai had already returned home. It has been 3 days since he left, and after learning about the situation, Cui Shouyuan has also become drowsy. After all, he has been busy for so long and has not slept. He woke up refreshed and had a meal, waiting for the ring to travel again before he could go out and sell bottles to make money. After waiting for half a day, the ring can now cross again. Taking advantage of the darkness outside, Cui Shouyuan picked up 20 bottles and brought them to the previous pawn shop. My guest, you're here again. The shop assistant immediately recognized Cui Shouyuan. After all, as a pawn shop worker, there aren't many customers in a day, especially Cui Shouyuan's business of 300 taels of silver at once is very rare. Holding the package, Cui Shouyuan walked over calmly and said, "Last time I traded with you, I saw that your bid was fair, so I didn't hide it either." After speaking, he handed over the package containing the glass bottle and said, 20, it's the same price as last time. I only want gold, 200 taels of gold. Opening the package shop, the waiter's eyes were straight. The previous transaction was praised by the owner and he also received a lot of benefits. This time, there were only 20 in one go, and how much benefit did it cost? Excited and trembling, he took the bottles and carefully examined them one by one. Although he had already made a transaction, he still had to be cautious. After all, a bottle costs 100 taels of silver, and he cannot afford to make even the slightest mistake. 20 bottles were thoroughly inspected and said, "My guest, there is no problem with the items and the price is not a problem. However, there is not enough cash in the store at the moment. Can you wait a moment and I will have someone go and collect the silver?" "No problem, you can send someone to retrieve the silver, but you need to return the bottle to me first, and I will take it to the street to wait." Cui Shouyuan is also doing such a big business for the first time, and he is also a bit nervous. Before coming, he had anticipated all kinds of possible things, eating black and beating the stick. As long as something unexpected happens, it's no big deal to cross back with a ring. The shop assistant had no objection to Cui Shouyuan's request and quickly whispered a few words in the ear of the apprentice next to him. Even when the apprentice received the order, he dared not delay this big business. The speed at which I ran back to pass messages to my boss was also very fast. As soon as I left, I almost bumped into the hurried passers-by on the way. In the process of a cup of tea, the shop assistant led a middle-aged man who thought he was slightly wealthy in silk and satin to come. The man was also holding a box, followed by 2 bodyguards. Chui Shouyuan estimates that this person is the owner of this store, and the box in his hand is the gold he needs. The wealthy middle-aged man seemed to have noticed Chui Shouyuan and said, "Sir, please come in and have a detailed discussion." After speaking, he extended a hand to invite Chui Shouyuan into the room. Entering the room, he said, "This is a bottle. Where is gold?" Chui Shouyuan doesn't want to talk too much to these people. He just wants to trade quickly and leave now. The shopkeeper seemed to have noticed Chui Shouyuan's caution and didn't say anything. He opened the box in his hand and found exactly 200 taels of gold inside. Place it heavily on the counter. Since the gentleman is so straightforward, I won't say anything more. Let's check each other's goods. After speaking, he pushed the box containing gold to Chui Shouyuan. To test how Chui Shouyuan can handle it, he can only pretend to bite with his teeth, cut with scissors from the pawn shop, and weigh it with a scale. I think there should be no problem. After almost completing the inspection on the other side, they paid the money on one hand and delivered the goods on the other, without any delay. 200 taels of gold are still very heavy in his hands, about 1, 2, 3, and 17 grams, and 200 taels is about 7,400 grams. Chui Shouyuan has never seen so much gold in his life, let alone in his hands, and it belongs to him. On the way to the inn, Chui Shouyuan has been carefully observing whether anyone has secretly followed and wants to eat black. Fortunately, the pawnshop owner seems to be a decent person and has not engaged in such vulgar things. If he wants to do this kind of thing, wait for Chui Shouyuan to return to the Blue Star with the ring and find a universal equality tool to teach him how to be a good person and do things. When Chui Shouyuan thought of the equality tool for all living beings, he felt it was necessary to create one. After selling those bottles in the next few days, he would go overseas to buy one. When it comes to trading, there's no need to be as anxious as now. Returning to the inn, it was already late and most of the shops outside had already closed. It was too late to sell another batch of bottles. As a county town with 100,000 residents, Nanyuan County also has some nightlife, but it lacks modern richness. Chui Shouyuan is now completely free and ready to bring 10 taels of gold to criticize the nightlife here. By the way, while observing if there are any other pawn shops on the roadside, under the guidance of the innkeeper, Chui Shouyuan can easily find the location of Nanyuan County's nightlife by searching for the Shuyuan www.zhaoshuyuan.com. The nightlife in Nanyuan County only consists of brothels, gambling factories, and theaters. After strolling around for a while, Chui Shouyuan also found 3 different pawnshops, but now they have already closed their doors early. Chui Shouyuan, who had been wandering for a while, felt bored. Coupled with drowsiness, he hastily returned to the inn to rest. After having breakfast, Chui Shouyuan continued to sell his bottles and wrap them to bring the pawn shop he had stepped on better yesterday. The process is similar to yesterday, but the shopkeeper of this store is inside and there has been no incident of returning to retrieve gold. In the morning, Chui Shouyuan visited 4 different pawn shops with the same trading methods, and there were no unexpected incidents along the way. This couldn't help but make Chui Shouyuan marvel, is the security environment here so good? There are still 50 bottles left, and Chui Shouyuan is trying to sell them this afternoon. At noon, after chatting casually on the roadside, Chui Shouyuan tirelessly searched for other pawn shops that had not been traded before. In an afternoon, Chui Shouyuan successfully sold the remaining 50 bottles and basically finished browsing the pawn shops in Nanyuan County. Next, Chui Shouyuan is not planning to continue selling glass bottles in Nanyuan County. He estimates that the market is already saturated, and if it continues to be sold, there may be some thoughtful people who will miss him. Riding on the day before it was dark and the city gate was not closed, Chui Shouyuan spent 70 silver to sell a carriage and hid all the gold under the carriage's seat to avoid checking his own gold when he left the city later. Chui Shouyuan led the horse pulled the carriage, with gold hidden inside, and swaggered away from Nanyuan County. When passing through the city gate, there was no inspection and Cui Shouyuan was released directly. Chapter 7. Am I a Fairy? You are listening at novelfull.audio. The sun in the sky is almost setting, and the setting sun is dyeing the white clouds red. The gate of Nanyuan County is gradually moving away. Following the main road leading to other county towns, Cui Shouyuan found a wilderness surrounded by no one and surveyed the surroundings. Cui Shouyuan got into the carriage and took out the gold hidden under the seat. He packed it in 2 pockets, one containing over 50 pounds of gold, and the other holding it in his hand. Go back. In an instant, Cui Shouyuan disappeared from the seat of the carriage, and the next moment he appeared on the motorcycle he had left. After leaving for more than 10 or 20 days, the motorcycle was still in the woods without being stolen, and the luggage behind the motorcycle was not passive either. It was just that there were a few fallen leaves on the motorcycle seat cushion, and the branches made the buttocks uncomfortable. Change clothes. Put the gold in the luggage box and discard almost all the clothes inside. It's still broad daylight now, and Cui Shouyuan is planning to go and exchange a small piece of gold for money before proceeding. I searched the map for gold recycling and found the nearest gold recycling store. With just 1 foot on the gas, I headed there. Does the boss accept gold? Collection, what price? Today's gold price is 485 yuan per gram. How much does this one cost? The gold shop owner took the gold nugget prepared by Cui Shouyuan in advance and said, "Your piece of gold is quite large, about 1 kilogram. Let me weigh it and then burn it with a fire gun." As he spoke, he picked up the gold and put it into his own weighing device, weighing 1132 grams. Then he picked up the gold and put it in a crucible to calcine with a fire gun. The gold nugget gradually melted under the calcination of the firearm, without changing color and still maintaining its characteristics. The melted gold was poured back into his own mold by the gold shop owner to form a gold bar. Zizi put the formed gold bar into water to cool down, then weigh it again on the scale. The weight remains the same. Take out a calculator and do a simple calculation. 5,490,020 yuan. Is there any problem? No problem, then give me your bank card number and register your ID card as well. After registering everything, Cui Shouyuan received a text message from the bank on his phone as soon as he walked out of the gold shop, earning 549,200 yuan. Now Cui Shouyuan finally understood the meaning of the phrase, "the richest man on a white horse." I have never liked money, I am not interested in money. Looking at the cold string of numbers on his phone, Cui Shouyuan realized. After receiving the payment, Cui Shouyuan rode his motorcycle and prepared to return to his hometown. He put the gold in his hometown and then went overseas to sell a universal equality tool, which provided some protection. After riding for nearly 10 hours, Cui Shouyuan arrived at his rural hometown. Now he is the only one in the family, and the house in his hometown has not been inhabited for a long time, so it is somewhat dilapidated. Opening the door with the key, slowly moving down the box containing gold, carrying it into the kitchen, and hiding all the gold in the stove. Cui Shouyuan, who had been riding for 10 hours, simply tidied up his bedroom and fell asleep. The next day when he woke up, Cui Shouyuan immediately went to the local department to apply for a passport and prepared to get a universal equality device. As for where to buy it, Cui Shouyuan was planning to go to Miandian to buy it. One is that it is close, and the other is that it is easy to get and not troublesome. It will take more than 10 days to process the passport, and Cui Shouyuan cannot wait for more than 10 days at Blue Star. His time is very precious now. Having bought a relatively light off-road motorcycle and dressed in a fairy-like ancient costume, Cui Shouyuan prepared to move the motorcycle to a different world for a journey. The carriage left in place in the other world is probably long gone, so he now needs a driving tool to go to the next city to sell his glass bottles. As for buying another carriage in Nanyuan County, Cui Shouyuan won't go back until he has the strength. After selling so many glass bottles at once, the people in Nanyuan County probably have already realized it. Those glass bottles are sold the same, and if they were to be released again, it would be a waste of trouble. Besides, a carriage may not necessarily run as fast as an off-road motorcycle, and riding a horse is not something that Cui Shouyuan can do, so riding a motorcycle directly is the simplest. Replacing his newly purchased historical attire, putting on a helmet and knee pads, Cui Shouyuan lifted his motorcycle with one force and led the whole person and car into a different world. Sure enough, the carriage had already left its original position and had nowhere to go. Cui Shouyuan didn't care about the carriage anymore. He stepped on the accelerator and rushed down the road towards the direction of the next county. The county he was going to was called Jinan County, which is also a populous county. The population of the county was about 170,000 more than that of Nanyuan County, with a total population of 600,000. Jinan County is the military and political center of the surrounding county towns, with a military force of 25,000 stationed there. The high-ranking officials and nobles of these surrounding county towns all like to go there. In terms of economic strength, it is definitely higher than Nanyuan County, and glass bottles are probably better to sell. The motorcycle was speeding on the road, and at that moment, a young man from the beginning of his life rushed over on horseback, riding on it while shouting, "Immortal, wait for me, Immortal." Cui Shouyuan, wearing a helmet, looked back and said, "Is this young man talking about a fairy? Are you talking about me? I am also riding my own motorcycle and have never seen anyone in this world. Moreover, the roar of motorcycles is also very frightening, and it is not impossible to recognize myself as a fairy." Cui Shouyuan kept looking back at the young man, feeling lost in thought. After a moment, he stopped to wait for the young man. In Cui Shouyuan's mind, this place is not far from Jinan County. This young man is dressed well and probably also a wealthy and prestigious family in Jinan County. Since he recognizes me as a fairy, can he use him to help sell glass bottles for himself, so that he doesn't have to show up and will save a lot of trouble? The young man saw that Cui Shouyuan had stopped, so he whipped his horse and rushed over, afraid that Cui Shouyuan would run again. Pay respects to the Immortal. As soon as he arrived at Cui Shouyuan's side, the young man made a kneeling salute. Since we were going to pretend to be immortals, we had to make a complete set. Cui Shouyuan also put on a show and replied with a few words, "Get up, why don't you stop me, kid?" The kid wants to apprentice to the Immortal and learn the supreme Taoist method. This kid is also inexperienced and not afraid of tigers, so he directly expressed his own thoughts. "You want to learn the Immortal method, but I haven't even learned how to step on a horse yet." After thinking for a moment, Cui Shouyuan's original idea of asking this young man to help sell glass bottles immediately changed. Selling glass bottles only costs a few yuan, it's much easier to directly accept apprentices. It costs 200,000 taels of silver to accept one apprentice at Didao Temple, but it's not too much for me to accept 100,000 taels of silver. Collecting two can lead to donations and running away, which is a bit tricky. After completing my studies and returning home, why don't I just teach them some immortal techniques? The more I think about it, the more I feel that this matter is confusing. It's not impossible to accept you as an apprentice, but what price are you willing to pay? In order to maintain his immortal demeanor, Cui Shouyuan didn't directly raise silver. It's tacky to raise money directly, all thanks to your child's intelligence. Chapter 8. Accepting Apprentices. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The boy is willing to give his life and fortune to the Immortal, the boy replied sincerely. What do I want you to do with your life? Aren't you on the road, kid? Do I have to say it? Cui Shouyuan looks like he hates iron for not turning into steel. Since you know that I am a fairy, you should also know what immortals usually need to recruit disciples. I think you should have a good family background before stopping. There's no way, Cui Shouyuan can only remind the stunned person in front of him. People in this world seem to be basically aware of the existence of the group of immortals, but only understand the amount of information about immortals. Poor families generally know less, while wealthy people should generally know more. After Cui Shouyuan's guidance, the young man seemed to have realized. Immortal, although the young man has some family resources, he is still unable to support the young man's request for immortality. How many tens of thousands of taels can you give? After realizing what Cui Shouyuan meant, Cui Shouyuan stopped beating around the bush and went straight to the topic. The maximum amount of silver that the boy can give at home is 50,000 taels. After some thought, the boy said the maximum amount of silver that his family can give. 50,000 taels is quite different from the 100,000 taels I had anticipated, but on second thought, 50,000 taels is also quite a lot. 10 birds in the forest are not as good as 1 bird in the hand. Regardless of how much money he has, let's get it first. Cui Shouyuan put on a difficult look and finally pretended to reluctantly agree. The disciple pays respects to the master. The young man saw Cui Shouyuan agree and immediately knelt down to prepare for the apprenticeship ceremony. Get up now. Cui Shouyuan is not accustomed to others kneeling in front of him, although his current role is a fairy and he needs to maintain a proper demeanor. Thank you very much, master. First, go to your house and take out the silver. Now Cui Shouyuan's mind is full of getting the money first. As for being exposed, it doesn't matter. Anyway, he has a ring and can travel back anytime, anywhere. Or wait a few more days until you have obtained the equality tool for all beings and show your hand directly in front of your disciple. Isn't that a simple matter? After listening to what Cui Shouyuan said, the young man immediately got up and mounted his horse, leading Cui Shouyuan towards his own home. On the way, Cui Shouyuan inquired about this young man named Duan Fangqing. His father was 1,000 households of the defending army in Jinan County, and he was the only son in the family. Otherwise, he wouldn't dare to casually agree to the apprenticeship gift of 50,000 taels of silver. 50,000 taels of silver is also a significant amount for 1,000 households. At the same time, it was also known that there was an immortal gate in Nanjun, called the Golden Light Gate, which was priced at 200,000 taels of silver for accepting disciples. Moreover, as the capital of Nanjun, there is a ferry stationed in Jinan County at Jingguangmen. However, the mansion where the ferry resides is always tightly closed, and except for the county governor and Jinan general, no one else dares to disturb the ferry without proper business. After all, once the immortal was angered, the consequences could be very serious. There was once a wealthy merchant's son from Jinan County who wanted to become a disciple but didn't have enough money. He went to the immortal to become a disciple, disturbing his cultivation, and was directly slapped and killed by the immortal. After listening to Duan Fangqing's various stories about the immortals in Jinan County, since there is a resident immortal in Jinan County, I cannot be too high profile. If it's too high profile and catches the attention of real immortals, then those who come to argue with themselves will be exposed. So Cui Shouyuan immediately explained to Duan Fangqing, my disciple, I don't want to attract too much attention when I come down the mountain this time. Do you understand what I mean? I understand. Those who cultivate immortals need to clear their minds. Why don't we go to Jinan County instead? There is a summer resort outside Jinan County at my home, and it's not far from here. It will be there soon. How about master going there? Sure enough, not long after, the two of them arrived at a luxurious mansion outside the town of Jinan County, which was not far from Jinan County for 2 or 3 miles. The plaque on the gate reads, Duan Fu. The entire Duan Fu covers an area of about 5 acres, with small bridges and flowing water, as well as strange rocks and mountains. The gatekeeper saw Duan Fangqing coming here and slowly stepped forward to help Duan Fangqing dismount, while also beckoning the kitchen to prepare wine and meat. As for Cui Shouyuan riding this roaring motorcycle, the gatekeeper also didn't dare to slack off. At first glance, his identity was extraordinary. Otherwise, how could he go with the young master? After helping Duan Fangqing off his horse, He turned around and wanted to help Cui Shouyuan get off the car. However, he realized that Cui Shouyuan had already got off the car, and his tripod had already been put down. Due to Cui Shouyuan constantly telling Duan Fangqing to keep a low profile and not reveal his identity to others on the way, Duan Fangqing did not show much respect and fear towards Cui Shouyuan in front of the servants. When the gatekeeper was preparing to lead the horse to the backyard stable to feed grass, he looked at Cui Shouyuan's motorcycle and couldn't get started for a moment. How could he lead this thing? What should I do, young master? The gatekeeper pointed to Cui Shouyuan's motorcycle as he spoke. Duan Fangqing didn't know what to do with this thing. How could he understand the things of the immortal family? He could only look at Cui Shouyuan helplessly, with a hint of seeking help in his eyes. Cui Shouyuan immediately understood and said, "Well, you can wait and have someone carry you into the house." Find the Shuyuan website www.zhaoshuyuan.com. After speaking, he took off his motorcycle helmet and hung it on the armrest. He also took off his protective gear and placed it on the seat. "Brother Cui, please do it." Duan Fangqing extended his hand and asked Cui Shouyuan to walk towards the courtyard. As for the titles, they were all agreed upon by the two on the way. Everything was for the sake of being low-key. This is Cui Shouyuan's first time coming to a wealthy family's house in this world, and everything is a bit strange, but it's not much different from the ones in historical TV dramas. After leading Cui Shouyuan around the villa, someone from the kitchen said that the food was ready and asked the two of them to go for a meal. Eating, how could immortals eat? Even after eating, they can't defecate in front of them. It really affects my immortal's character. So Cui Shouyuan pulled Duan Fangqing aside and whispered, "I have reached the realm of clearing valleys. Eating these ordinary dishes will affect my cultivation, so I won't eat this meal as a teacher. You can find a quiet room for your teacher, who may need to be closed for a period of time. During this time, don't ask for someone to deliver food, just have someone guard the door. Don't let anyone intrude and disturb my cultivation. During this period, you can go home and raise the apprenticeship fee. I only need gold, and after raising it, you can transport it over." Do you understand? After listening to Cui Shouyuan's words, Duan Fangqing appeared to have a sudden realization and said, "I understand." As he spoke, he led Cui Shouyuan towards a quiet room and arranged for 4 servants to take turns guarding around the door to prevent anyone from breaking in and disturbing Cui Shouyuan's cultivation. Cui Shouyuan, who was inside the house, breathed a sigh of relief when he saw Duan Fangqing leave and close the door. It was too tiring to pretend to be a fairy, and if he accidentally revealed his true self, there might not be a place for him in Nanxian County. Chapter 9. Facing North, Fraudsters. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ads by Google equals window. Ads by Google. Push. Cui Shouyuan inside the house is actually very hungry now, but there is no way. He needs to establish a character to make Duan Fangqing firmly believe in his identity as a fairy. It's not yet time to travel again, so I can only wait in my room and take a nap first. When I woke up, the ring shone again and I could travel back. Go back. Returning to Blue Star, Cui Shouyuan went for a meal immediately and then dealt with the passport issue. The passport had already been processed. As soon as he received his passport, Cui Shouyuan flew to the border at Shuzhong Airport. Cui Shouyuan is preparing to enter Miandian from the border port because it is quite chaotic there and it is easy to get equal opportunities for all beings. Boarding the plane and constantly changing trains, Cui Shouyuan finally entered the infamous northern region of Miandian, where gambling, espionage, gambling, arms trading, and waste cutting are all part of the black industry chain you can think of. If you have the courage to face the Peking University stage, come. Cui Shouyuan, who was facing north, was at a loss as to where to buy various life-level items. He couldn't just ask a passerby on the roadside. But that's how Cui Shouyuan did it. Big Brother heard that this place, facing north, is very chaotic. It's easy to get guns and drugs, isn't it true? As the people from the north speak the language of the south of colorful clouds, it is not a problem for a person from Sichuan to understand Chui Shouyuan. The language issue is also his reason for choosing to face north, and he needs to translate when going to other places, which is too troublesome. What you said is so exaggerated. These are all nonsense on the internet. After all, these things are also illegal. How could they be easily bought? Those who do this kind of business are all secretive and generally dare not take it to the streets to sell openly. They are also afraid of being caught. Big Brother came up with an explanation to eliminate some of Chui Shouyuan's stereotypes. Do you know where they usually sell secretly, Big Brother? What do you want to buy? Big Brother seemed to see that Chui Shouyuan was an restless person. I haven't shot before, so I came here this time to buy a toy to play with. Chui Shouyuan also showed his hand and stopped pretending. If you want to buy a gun, just walk over there and ask in that alley. I don't know how to sell it specifically. Following the direction pointed by the elder brother, Chui Shouyuan walked over and upon inquiry, it was indeed a place selling guns. I sold an M9 for 10,000 yuan, which has high stability and an effective range of 50 meters. I also sold 50 bullets for 1,000 yuan, which is enough. When I finished buying a gun and was eating by the roadside, I kept thinking about how to portray myself as a fairy, constantly improve myself, and attract more apprentices to come and learn. But it cannot attract too much attention, especially the attention of the immortal. Only by constantly pretending to be a true immortal can one use modern technologies such as walkie-talkies and drone cameras to transmit sound from thousands of miles. Although thousands of miles may be a bit exaggerated, there is still room for improvement within a dozen miles. Electric shock rods control lightning. Thinking of these, Chui Shouyuan began to purchase items. Although Mianbei was a bit backward, Chui Shouyuan spent a whole day searching and still bought the things he wanted. After buying good things and continuously learning how to use them, Chui Shouyuan has understood the functions and usage of the walkie-talkie, drone, and electric shock rod. Chui Shouyuan, who had eaten and drunk all day, took these things and found an empty forest in the north, changing into ancient clothing and accessories to travel. Chui Shouyuan has been staying at the Blue Star for about 3 days, and it has been a month since the end of the Outer Realm. During this period, Duan Fangqing had already raised the gold, and for the sake of these gold coins, Duan Fangqing's parents also sold some land in exchange for 5,000 taels of gold. As for Duan Fangqing's parents, do they suspect that Chui Shouyuan is a scammer? Anyway, the gold has not been handed over, and they have also seen the motorcycle as an object. And since Chui Shouyuan entered the house, he hasn't come out for a month. Their front and back of the house are guarded by people, so it's impossible for anyone to come in or out. Chui Shouyuan, as long as he is an ordinary person, cannot deceive them. As long as he is an ordinary person, it is impossible for him to not eat or drink for a month. These various signs have made Duan Fangqing's parents firmly believe in Chui Shouyuan's identity. These days, they have also moved to the mountain villa, hoping that Chui Shouyuan can go out and witness his true appearance as soon as possible. Due to what Chui Shouyuan said to be low-key, Duan Fangqing also instructed the servants in the villa not to reveal anything about Chui Shouyuan outside. These servants were also very secretive and dared not reveal any of Chui Shouyuan's story outside. Alien Realm Villa. When Chui Shouyuan came back and saw a table with some dust, he also knew that Duan Fangqing probably had not come in, and his fairy's words were still very effective. I sorted out my clothes, stabilized my emotions, and went out to continue meeting my disciple for a while. Creak. Chui Shouyuan pushed the door to the room, and the servant outside immediately said to Chui Shouyuan when he saw him, "Your esteemed guest, please come with the servants." The master said that as soon as you come out, the servant will take you to see them. No need, you can call Duan Fangqing over. I have something to say to him. In the backyard of the mountain villa, Duan Fangqing was playing with a chopping knife, and his dance was quite graceful. After all, his father is 1,000 households, and their family can be said to be generals. They basically know some weapons such as swords and knives. And next to her sat a woman who was playing games with a maid. Mrs. Duan, the mother of Duan Fangqing, was looking for the Shuyuan website www.zhaoshuyuan.com. As for Duan Fangqing's father, who is currently on duty in the barracks, he probably won't be back until evening. "Madam, the young master's distinguished guest has come out and said to let me take the young man over." Originally dancing swords, the two of them who were playing chess immediately lost their focus on what was in front of them. Originally, the lady also wanted to come with her, but when she heard Cui Shouyuan only call Duan Fangqing, she didn't dare to disturb the immortal rashly. "Go ahead, Duan Fangqing didn't care if he was sweating profusely while dancing with his sword. After waiting for half a month, he finally arrived. How could he not be happy? Strolling towards Cui Shouyuan's room, he saw Cui Shouyuan pretending to sit cross-legged on the bed as soon as he entered. After entering, he carefully closed the door to prevent anyone from hearing him. "Here, sit down." Cui Shouyuan pointed to the nearby stool and then stood up. "Is the gold ready?" "Master, everything is ready, just wait for master." "Since that's the case, then you can move into the house. Remember that you can move in alone, and no one else can." "Why does Duan Fangqing have to move alone?" Cui Shouyuan just doesn't want to interact with more people, as it's easy to reveal one's true colors when there are many people. Just as Duan Fangqing was about to go out and move the gold, he suddenly walked to the door and said, "Master, my disciple's parents want to meet you." "I don't know if it's possible." "No need, I am taking you as an apprentice, not your parents as an apprentice to meet some people. In the future, you should also have less contact with your parents when practicing. Practicing means cutting off worldly ties, do you know? Joking about meeting your parents, the older you get, the more demonic you become. To deceive you, I have to prepare things like walkie-talkies, drones, and batons. It's even more difficult to deceive experienced parents like you." Chapter 10. Immortal Law. Technology. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ads by Google equals window. Ads by Google. Push, of course, Duan Fangqing had to tell his mother about moving gold, and Mrs. Duan had no doubts. Immediately, Duan Fangqing began moving gold towards the house where Cui Shouyuan was located. 5,000 taels of gold weigh about 300 to 400 pounds, and people like Jiang Dai who have eaten elixirs may be able to carry them in one bite. But people like Duan Fangqing who have never taken the elixir still need to move a few times to complete it. After several trips, 5,000 taels of gold had already been moved to Cui Shouyuan's house. At this time, Cui Shouyuan took out the so-dot called Cultivation Essentials and Techniques that were already prepared and printed on A4 paper. As for the content inside, it was all searched by Cui Shouyuan online, which looks quite intimidating. He downloaded the content to his phone, converted it into traditional Chinese, and printed it at a printing shop in the north. Remember not to spread it to others. Take it back and understand it for a while. After a while, I will come to test you and see how you understand it. Do you understand? Understand, master. After teaching the cultivation techniques, Cui Shouyuan immediately took out the walkie-talkie, left one for himself, and handed the other to Duan Fangqing. At the same time, he briefly taught him some usage methods. Since all the money has been collected, Cui Shouyuan naturally needs to show some real skills to convince this disciple. This is a magical tool refined for my master, called a teleportation tool. Even if you and my master and disciple gather for 10 miles, they can still converse as usual. However, you are still just an ordinary person. This teleportation device may lose its effectiveness after being on you for about 10 days. You will need to bring it to the master and give him mana to use it as usual. Do you understand? Understood. Thank you very much for giving me the treasure, master. Cui Shouyuan, who obtained the walkie-talkie, can be said to have obtained it like a treasure. This is a magical weapon of the Immortal family, how can he not be excited? Take it far away first, let me see if you can use it. You can go to Jinan County first. The distance is not far or close, just right. When you arrive, use a teleportation device to tell me as soon as possible, do you know? Knowing the master, the apprentice will leave first. As soon as it disappeared, Duan Fangqing left Cui Shouyuan's room and went to the stable to lead his horse. He galloped all the way, almost colliding with passers-by. Just as Duan Fangqing left Cui Shouyuan's room, he had just left Cui Shouyuan with his front foot and then came out with a drone in his back foot. He wanted to give Duan Fangqing a little shock. After checking the drone, there are no issues and it will take off. Under the control of Cui Shouyuan, the drone flew out of the room and slowly took off. Through the footage transmitted by the camera, it was discovered that Duan Fangqing had already pulled out his horse. The performance of the drones purchased by Cui Shouyuan is very good, flying high and smoothly, with long range, long handling distance, and fast speed. The camera is also ultra-high definition. So even if Cui Shouyuan flies very high, he can still see Duan Fangqing through the camera. On the screen, it was displayed that Duan Fangqing rode his horse too fast and almost ran into pedestrians on the road. Cui Shouyuan immediately scolded him through the walkie-talkie, "Ride slowly. Why are you in such a hurry? If you run into someone and cause death, I will immediately expel you from the school." The sudden sound coming from the walkie-talkie also startled Duan Fangqing, who was clever and kept looking around, thinking that Cui Shouyuan was by his side. "What are you looking at? I'm still in the villa. Do you remember what I said earlier, kid?" Remember the master," Duan Fangqing hurriedly replied. Looking at the screen, there was a sense of inexplicable humor in Duan Fangqing, who was guilty of being a thief. "You kid, do you dare to speak so loudly? If I give you some technology, I'm so scared." Duan Fangqing, who had been reprimanded, now felt surrounded by Cui Shouyuan's eyes, staring at him everywhere. The Immortal family's magic was indeed extraordinary, and he respected Cui Shouyuan even more in his heart. At the same time, I also remind myself in my heart not to do anything bad and not to lie to my master. He knows everything. Looking at Duan Fangqing's frightened expression, Cui Shouyuan was very satisfied with this reprimand. Not long after, Duan Fangqing entered Jinan County and found a place with no one around. "Master, I have already arrived in Jinan County. Can you hear what I'm saying?" "Sure, you can take me on a good tour of Jinan County and introduce it to you. Remember to cover up when using the transmission tool and not let others see it." After explaining to Duan Fangqing, Cui Shouyuan controlled the drone and followed Duan Fangqing around Jinan County. "Master, this is the bull and horse market in Jinan County. This is a street of brothels and casinos in Jinan County. This is a military camp, this is the prefect's mansion, and this is the residence of the Immortal who resides in Jinan County." At this point in the introduction, Cui Shouyuan controlled the drone and took a special look at the mansion where the Immortal lived. Unpleasing to the eye, shameful and refined, indulging in debauchery during the day, growing old and strong. If you engage in this kind of thing in broad daylight, is your horse-riding cultivator a serious immortal? If it happens in the yard, why don't you go back to your house? The fairy who was playing enthusiastically seemed to have not noticed Cui Shouyuan's drone, which made Cui Shouyuan more confident and daring to sneak a peek at the fairy's mansion. Zhaozuiyuan.com. Since the Immortal couldn't detect it like this, Cui Shouyuan was planning to build a small drone. While this old man was messing around, he went into his room to see if he could find some secret techniques for cultivating immortals. Duan Fangqing strolled around with Cui Shouyuan for most of the day, when the drone was running out of battery and said, "All right, come back." On his way back, Cui Shouyuan did not continue to monitor Duan Fangqing. Taking advantage of his absence, he put away the drone in advance. In no time, Duan Fangqing returned and greeted Cui Shouyuan in the room. He was directly sent out by Cui Shouyuan on the grounds of wanting to practice in seclusion. When it was time to travel back, Cui Shouyuan went back alone, with guns, bullets, and gold left under the bed of the other world. This trip back is for returning from the north, so firearms, ammunition, and gold cannot pass through, they can only be in a different world. After a tiring journey, Cui Shouyuan returned to his hometown from the north. After some adjustments, I returned to the other world to prepare for moving the gold bars. Due to Cui Shouyuan returning to China using his phone for about a day, it has been 10 days since he returned to the foreign world, and it is estimated that Duan Fangqing's walkie-talkie is also out of battery. During these 10 days, Duan Fangqing recounted all the strange experiences to his parents, and the two of them had a deep belief in the identity of Cui Shouyuan Immortal. Spreading sound from thousands of miles and monitoring from afar, this is not a fairy's technique. As soon as Cui Shouyuan arrived in a different world, he called Duan Fangqing over first, contacted his master-disciple relationship, pretended to test Duan Fangqing's homework, and then changed the battery of the walkie-talkie. 300 to 400 pounds of gold need to be transported about 4 times to be transported. In 4 days, Cui Shouyuan finally transported all the gold and hid it all in his hometown stove.